Well, hello on this very beautiful autumn day. The weather has been so gracious. The sun has been so present. And I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful for this opportunity to hear from the guides. This is like in my hair. Not too bad. And hear what they have to say. So.
I think it's kind of interesting that the guides told you what the title of this video might be, or at least the subject.
I don't remember what it was now.
About why the important things aren't important during this time, or why the big things.
Why seemingly important things are not very important. I don't know if that's what exactly they said. Why seemingly important things are not.
Actually.
Why seemingly important things are not is what they gave me as a title a few days ago. So I'm looking forward to it and hear what they have to say. So good. Okay, so let's just do it. Hello, Lori dear. We are indeed here, and we are thankful for your little introduction. And we are happy that you remembered what we had said a few days ago about the working title. And we would say it is a very good working title, as it helps us begin right away into what we want to speak about. We do want to speak about these times that we are in, these times that you are in on Mother Earth. And we know these are complicated times. And we'd like to say that this time is a very important time. However, what seemingly is important, or what others may think to be important, or what the mainstream media may think to be important, may not, on the grand or the large scheme of things, be that important. What we are trying to say is, why is it, let's think about this, why is it that things that are seemingly so important within the false matrix are not important? Why is it that there's so much energy that is conjured and brought forth at this time in many countries around the world? We here are speaking through Lori Dear within the United States, and we would like to say that Lori Dear is indeed in a swing state. So there is a lot of energy put forth around the upcoming election. Now we would like to say that this incredible, abundant energy that is coming forth, that has anything and everything to say about this upcoming election, is not, in the large, grand scheme of things, that important to us on this side of things. We would like to begin by saying, it may be surprising for many of you to hear this, or maybe it is not surprising to know that whoever wins this election, it is not going to make a great difference. Now that may be something that some of you do not want to hear. Now why is this? Let's think about why this is. Why may it not be so, or such a big deal, make such a big difference in the organic matrix as to who wins this election? Right away, let's put this election into the organic matrix. And what do we have? The decision, this 2024 decision, becomes smaller and smaller when you put it in that perspective, becomes almost insignificant, we would say. Because what is meant to happen in 2024 will indeed happen. And if it is A or B, whoever is in office, doesn't matter to as a significant degree as one might think. There is some difference, of course, but the significance is not as significant. So, let's put it this way. There are many things that are happening now on Mother Earth, upon Mother Earth, that are coming from a galactic source. So what we mean primarily is the solar energy that is coming upon Mother Earth at this time is significant and is much more significant than this upcoming election. This solar energy is and will continue to have a very, very large effect on humanity, on all of humanity. Decisions will be made within humanity because of the solar experience that humanity is having at this time. So we would like to say decision 2024 is more about that which is happening galactically upon Mother Earth, coming to Mother Earth. This solar light that is coming, these rays, this energy that is coming, that has been coming and is continuing to come, will indeed change humanity. This is the big deal. Who wins this election is not as big of a deal. It is a big deal, but not as big of a deal as what is happening and continuing to happen within humanity as far as humanity's transformation. Many are awakening now, and this election does help many to awaken and will continue to do that. Things will be stood up on their ends. There will be surprises. There will be things that will happen that would not have been expected. The crazy, in some ways, will indeed get crazier to a point. This is a time where humanity is awakening, and that is the subject matter that we would like to talk about. Humanity is awakening, and the election is just one more way in which many within the world will begin to awaken, because this particular election will give many insight to things that they previously had maybe understood or thought or assumed or just predicted. When things are not as they seem, when they see that things are not as they seem, when there is an allowance or there is an allowing of seeing under the blankets or behind the curtain, people will begin to think. People will begin to feel from their heart center. People will be able to understand that things are not quite what they thought they were. They'll give space for the unknown. And when one gives space to the unknown, that is where the door is opened to one's awakening. It is when someone feels they understand everything about something, that something is predictable, that something will happen in a certain way, that the world continues within the false matrix to happen in a certain way. That will allow those who follow the false matrix in the election, if things would be predictable, if things would be the way they would think, the door would be closed to awakening for some individuals. However, this election is helping many to awaken, because simply put, many cannot believe their eyes and ears, and they cannot understand what is happening. And there seems to be so much of a letdown of what is happening within the systems. The systems are collaborating in their fall with this awakening that is happening upon Mother Earth at this time. The systems are failing. The systems are falling. The systems will be opening. When we say opening, we mean they will be opening so that they can then be changed, explored, looked at from varying perspectives, tried to make better, tried to be renewed, dissected, thought about. These systems are helping humanity awaken. And these systems are not only falling apart within the United States, they are happening around the world in various ways. This particular election does take a lot of the airwaves. It's taking a lot of people's attention around the world, not in just the United States. So that is why we're talking about this election. And Lori Deer and Lucas know all about the airwaves, for everything is flooded in their particular state. And there is a lot of money coming into their particular state from each side to try and sway the quote-unquote undecided voter. Now, we want you to know that we are not trying to make light of this 2024 electoral decision that is happening within in the United States. We know it's important. It's just that we might see it as, from a different perspective, as it's important, not necessarily to see how the United States will be governed going forward. We see it as important as how many will be awakening. We see it as a ploy, a way in which humanity can awaken. For the real subject is the awakening now at this time on Mother Earth. And this awakening is being played in various games, you could say, around the world in various ways. Structures, those created structures that are built by particular cultures, are exploding, use that word, being blown up, can use that word. Some places they are falling down, some places they are dissolving, some places they just seemingly have disappeared, in some places they are exploding. The real plot, the real subject, is the awakening, that which we put our minds and hearts upon. That is the reason we are here talking to you. We know that it is all too easy to get swept into the election and wonder this and wonder that and gasp about this and talk about that and can you believe this and now can you believe that and this is incredible, what is this? And we also know that this politics of division is very purposeful. This politics of division is not just dividing friend against friend and family member against family member. It is also dividing the human being. For somehow Americans are trying to divide themselves between the left and the right. And we would like to say that this left and the right are more integrated within the human being than one thinks. And it is not possible to separate oneself, divide oneself into fully the left and fully the right, as much as one may want or think or perceive. We would like you who are listening to this in these moments to try and remember when they think about the election and they think about the divisive politics. We would like you to think about what this divisiveness is doing for the singular persons, people, those individuals across the nation. Not everybody is trying to pull themselves to the left or the right. There are those who are trying to go in the middle way, who are trying to integrate those parts of themselves that are seemingly of the left and those parts of themselves that are seemingly from the right. We would like to say there are others who are trying their very hardest to be fully divided within themselves, where they are on the right side or on the left side, fully, as if that's somehow good or better or valuable or important or virtuous or strong or makes a better nation, a more secure nation, or a more happy nation, a more efficient nation, a more kind nation. We would like to say it is important that you see that there are those who are trying to divide the human being. They're trying to make it easy for human beings at this time on the planet to divide themselves within their one individual self, to try and shut off one side or shut off the other side, to try and be bright and cheery on one side and leave the other side in the dark. We would say that it's important, that it's helpful at this time for humanity to integrate many parts of themselves that they did not even know they were trying to hide. They were trying to ignore. They were trying to believe were not there, that part of them wasn't there. We think at this time it is vitally important to embrace the whole of yourself. And not allow others to try and divide parts of yourself, to try and relegate some part of yourself on either side, to try and divide the waters. We would say this divisive politics is very, very purposeful, and it has been very effective. However, there are those that are seen through that. And what is that phrase? Each wing on each side of the bird. The bird, there's two wings. I'm saying something about wings, and there's a bird, right wing, left wing, but it's one bird. It's one bird. So, we will leave you with these thoughts and ideas. When you think of the election and you're aware of the divisive politics, think about the divisiveness that is happening with the individuals, and that is meant to happen in the individual at this time. Think about refusing to divide oneself, refusing to take this spoonful of divisive politics and to try and integrate the many parts of you within yourself. It is not possible to divide the human being to the political left and to the political right at this time. It's not possible. And if one tries, it creates a very imbalanced human being. So we leave you these words in hopes that this time upon Mother Earth will not be as stressful to you, those who are listening, that somehow you can remember that the larger thing is that this election is allowing many to awaken. And for those who are awakened, it's important to remember where your heart lies and where your mind lies. And you do not have to be pulled apart personally. And you do not have to be pulled apart from those you love or care about. There is room for many perspectives. And just because another perspective is different than yours, it doesn't mean they are less than, or lower than, or cruel, or stupid, or infallible. We would like to remind you, as we have before, that here on our side of things, we are many, and we do enjoy each other's perspectives. Not only enjoy, but they are valuable and extremely important to us as far as our own personal growth as an individual soul and our group evolvement. We value and look for each other's perspective, for we understand that our perspective is but one perspective. The more perspectives we can gather and feel and understand through our communal engagement, the better. It's showing me like this, like in a field or a prairie, kind of like where we are now. And there's like a, I don't know, like a totem pole, just like a pole, like a wood pole, and around that pole are all these different faces, symbolizing people's perspectives. And they're going in all the directions around the pole. And they're showing how, well, what I'm gaining from it is just, it's related to security, which is interesting. Like, it's related to how secure that is when there's all these different perspectives that are able to see in different directions, instead of just like one person seeing in one direction and then all this is blocked off. It's almost like it's not even about, they're not talking about wisdom here, they're talking about security, of how it is like interesting. Almost like if one was a prey animal, how important it would be to have many eyes in all the directions, and how tragic it would be for just one to be looking out in one direction and they cannot see the rest of the way around that circle. And just pointing out how much we can, just one way of seeing how valuable each other's perspectives, visual perspectives are in that analogy. Thinking right away about horses and how they behave in the wild. So, we leave you all here. We are pleased to have your attention. We hope you can feel our energy through this video that we are creating in these moments. We hope you can feel the energy that is pulsating freely from one side to the other side, polarities, the polarities from one side to the other side. See that moving back and forth between the polarities instead of being stuck in one. What happens when energy can move back and forth to the polar ends of anything? Think of a magnet. Energy can move. There is a flexibility. If there's only energy in one polar side, what do we have? And where does that go? Just another analogy we're offering up. We love you all. We send you all love and peace. We look forward to seeing you soon. We are the Arcturians, the Palladians, the Council of Nine, and the Council of Light. Coming through Xanadu and then through Lore Deer. Adieu and adieu.
All right. On the count of three, let's say who we're going to vote for. Okay. 1, 2, 3.